Alrighty, everybody, it is time. It is time for Kefka14's run of Sneak King. Let's give him a round of applause and, yeah, go ahead and take it away.
All right, thanks for having me, guys. I really appreciate it. It's been many years since this game has appeared in a marathon, AGDQ 2015 to be exact. So let's get right into it. I'm ready to go when you all are ready.
Go right ahead.
Cool. In three, two, one, go. All right, so Sneak King is the Burger King game, more or less. It was released on the Xbox 360. However, it does run on the original Xbox as well, which is what I'm playing it on. And the reason for that is it actually has faster load times. The premise of the game, more or less, is you play as the Burger King and you sneak up on hungry individuals and give them food. Now, there are a few caveats to that we'll be getting to as the run progresses. But the biggest thing to keep in mind is you don't want to be seen by anybody. In particular, you don't want to be seen by anybody with a burger icon above their head, because if they see you, for some reason, they're no longer hungry, which that's exactly how that works. You know, when I see the person that's giving me food, I no longer want the food either. It's really silly. So in this challenge, I start off sneaking because on this challenge you also can't be heard. On top of the blue sort of cones in front of the NPCs that you see, which those blue cones indicate their like visual hitbox. But on top of those, they also have like a kind of a zone where they can hear you and they'll turn and look at you. If you're at the edge of this zone, you can sometimes get away from being seen and get away with it. But I just try to avoid it altogether, especially on a marathon run. So in this next challenge, you'll get to see the first flourish. Now, a flourish, basically, you'll see this kind of gauge charge up when I go to give this guy food. Notice I stopped it about halfway up. You can see those little, like, divots or something on it. Basically, there's 3 levels of flourishes, and they essentially give you more points. But with speedrunning, a flourish level 1 has the shortest animation time. So we want to do flourish level 1s pretty much unless indicated to do so otherwise. Most of the challenges in this game have preset cycles. The first few that I've done here do, meaning the exact same people get hungry in the exact same order. But it doesn't stay that way for very long, and I don't even know if you would call it RNG. There really isn't RNG in this game. It's more like the game just doesn't work properly. And like it'll look like things are normal and then things just aren't normal. This is a challenge that things kind of start to do that, potentially. We'll see if it goes well. Normally we got this lady here, and we don't. So already things are getting squirrely and interesting. This game's a bit of an RNG circus at times, and as such, it's quite fun. So normally the 2 guys saw on this log here are the last 2 people in this cycle. And this lady's the first one. For some reason, the cycle reversed this time around. And as a result, we did lose about 2 seconds. Negligible, to be honest, but it's notable because, again, the game just did something it wasn't supposed to do. This next challenge, though, has real RNG. And we got the good RNG, which starts with this person here. Sometimes it'll be see the person in the background there walking on that like water tower. Sometimes it'll be them, which you don't want it to be. Cool, and we got horrible RNG. So, yeah, now we just essentially stand around for a moment and hope for the best. Okay, so this worked out in the long run. The real question though is who'll be number 3. We hope it'll be this guy, and it was. So we're good. There's a lot of improv in a Sneak King speedrun, and that's one of the reasons I like it. I don't know, I just find it fun. Although this next challenge has absolutely no variations whatsoever. Of course, I'm saying that, and I'll see a variation for the first time right now. Okay, it's not. Basically, you have to deliver one thing from a hiding space. You can hide in the back of this truck, and it's always this woman right here, and basically as soon as you are hidden, you can just immediately press A and be done with it. It's a very convenient challenge. It's nice and short, which is kind of odd because it takes quite a bit of time to hide in a hiding space in this game. That animation is very just long and tedious. Alright, so this challenge is the first real free-for-all. It started how I would like it to, with this guy down here. And then it did what I like it to as well here, the guy chopping the tree. But after this is when things get weird. We want it to just be this little pod of people right here, and it can be. I've seen it be that multiple times. So far, so good. But we need 2 more deliveries without being seen. The goal of this challenge is to get what's called a chain count of 5, meaning 5 consecutive deliveries without being seen. Therefore, you won't break a chain. I mean, yeah, you're exactly right. There's so much like things that are questionably RNG in this game, and it's really hard to tell which is which at times. Right now, we're getting horrible RNG. Nobody near us, not a single person. Oh, wow. Someone all the way over there. That's, really terrible. That might be the worst RNG I've ever seen on that particular challenge. A bug just landed on me. So that's, kind of fascinating. We'll take care of it when I'm going through this door. Nice. So this next challenge, you get to see your first flourish level 3, and the animations for it are very hilarious. And we have to watch the whole animation, which is great. And it's so awkward because the music stops, like the You Did It music, and it's just still going on. Alright, one more challenge in this stage, and we're on to the second and final stage in this category. So, this category is jokingly called 50%, even though it technically is just 25% of the game. It's a marathon safe category for this game. The third stage is completely unpredictable for most of the challenges within it. And as such, going past the second stage in a marathon run is not deemed safe. So this category was created. Although the second stage is when things start to get really strange. And not just strange, but annoying. Can I get a time check?
Yes, sirree. About 8 minutes.
Okay, excellent, cool. Alright, so this is the second stage, cul-de-sac. More or less, all the challenges in this stage are just a mess. There's maybe 3 or 4 that are pretty predictable. But the rest are extremely just inconsistent for the most part. Which, you know, isn't a good thing, obviously. Okay. We got the guy in the purple shirt. I would prefer it to be the guy in the blue shirt. We could have saved, I don't know, a second and a half or something like that. Alright, this next challenge, we have to get 20,000 points. Yes, we got the good cycle. Okay, so this is a pretty funny glitch. NPCs in this game have a sloped hitbox. I was so hoping this would happen, and I'm so glad it did. And as such, you can stand on top of them like this. But notice I can still do a delivery from here, so let's do that. So it just like stretches the, like, look at the woman in the background. She's like all stretched out. It's so weird looking. I'm so glad that happened in this run. If I would have gotten different RNG, it might not have. That could have went better there. She was a little bit further away from us than what I would have preferred. But it's all going to work out. We need to keep our chain count, so we need to avoid being seen by this postman. But he has more than enough hunger to get the points we need. Alright, so this next challenge implements a new mechanic called, I guess you could call it the inventory system. And you can see it in the bottom right down there. We have an inventory of 5, now we have an inventory of 4. If I press A too soon, as in like before I get up to somebody, I can actually drop part of my inventory, and as such, I can fail this challenge. So I'm going to be waiting a few more moments to press A on some of these, just to avoid failing the challenge and costing time. Speaking of, we got really good RNG in this particular challenge. We got probably the best cycle. And then the next person will just, it'll be this woman coming out of this house here. Okay, interesting. She saw us and I had to duck away, so we did lose a little bit of time. But it all panned out in the long run. Very minor. Wait, what? Oh, okay. So next we do a challenge where we have to do 5 flourishes. There's a couple different sets of RNG I can get. And we got the good RNG right out of the gate, which is good, obviously. So I kind of want to call out anybody watching this. For some reason, with as memey and silly as this game is, I'm more or less the only person that's messed with it. There have been a couple other people dabble. But actually, getting down to the bare bones of it, there's not been a whole lot of people dig into this game. I encourage other players to please come and crush all of my times. I would love that. So we got the good cycle in this challenge as well, which is really great. Hopefully this time this person doesn't see us here. Oh no, they're far enough along. You know, and you are, you know, like, it really isn't that much slower to run this on Xbox 360 either. Oh, we got horrible RNG here, no. So, her position is always the same, but the direction she's facing is different. And we got pretty much the worst case scenario there. Of course, you know. Alright, this next challenge is truly the gauntlet of this stage. We have to do 8 flourishes in one challenge. And yes, it is quicker to do this particular challenge than it is some of the others, weirdly enough. Because it's not too far away. Oh, look at her. She, like, rings the doorbell, and there's, like, no doorbell there. It's fabulous. The other 2 Burger King games have fairly active speedrun communities. Well, Big Bumpin' doesn't. It has 1 runner. But Pocket Bike Racer actually has a few runs. Which makes sense. It's a racing game, you know? Alright, so this challenge always starts off pretty consistently with those 3 people. And then beyond this point, things start to just rapidly fall apart. See, for example, we got this lady over here. Just the worst thing in the world. She's not too far away. And then, interesting. That's really good RNG. And then actually, sure. Only 2 more deliveries on this challenge. This challenge has went really well so far. You know what? Sure, we'll go all the way back to this guy. It's a bit of a risk. Look, I love how he stands there. He's just painting nothing. Like, oh, yes. That's awesome. Cool. That challenge went extremely well. There might even be a PB for that challenge. Alright, next we have to get 10,000 points in less than 2 minutes. That's a very easy task. And there's only 4 more challenges left. And that's the end of the run. I immediately walk to the right there because it always starts with this guy that walks and lines up with this car. And for some reason, he always starts just looking directly at where you're at. And if he sees you, he's no longer hungry. Which, you know, makes perfect sense. One of the rare instances where I prefer to do flourish level 2s. Although if I get spotted here, now we have a problem. Because we lost our chain count. So I'm going to have to do a 3rd delivery. It's a time loss, but small. Because we have someone right there behind us, ready to go. We'll let him get down a little bit more. Perfect. Alright, this next challenge is one of my favorites in this stage. You have to get 5,000 points with no flourishes, meaning a chain count is required. But I also like that there's no flourishes. Flourishes just take up time, and they're annoying. I wish there was a way to just avoid all of those challenges altogether. But unfortunately, because of the order the challenges are unlocked, it just isn't really possible. So our first delivery there, we only get 600 points, but all we need is 600 points. We're going to stand back here for a moment. And that's why. We want her to be in yellow. And then next. Okay. I can work with it. Oh, yeah. If you looked at the mini-map down there, the guy that I was stalking did become hungry right at the end there. Of course. Alright, only 2 more challenges. The last 2 are honestly kind of difficult. I saved some of the harder ones for the end. It's partially just because of the sequence in which the challenges are unlocked, but see what happens. Okay, we got bad RNG, so restart. We got bad RNG twice, restart. Okay. So it starts with this guy back here at the tree. Also, look at him, like, cutting nothing. It's great. And then immediately, this guy. This one's pretty consistent for the first 3. And then the last 2 deliveries in this cycle sort of just... It could be any number of NPCs walking around. The next person should be this mailman right here that I'm running towards. Right about now. Yeah. And then hopefully the next person is this guy in the blue shirt. But it wasn't. So we're going to take a step back. And notice that nobody is, pretty much. And now the guy in the blue shirt is. So, interesting. Sometimes the game just does that. It just sort of stalls and just ceases working properly, or in general. I played it very safe there, but I didn't want to fail the challenge that far into it. Alright, so the last challenge is coming up, so we'll be ready on time here in like 30 to 60 seconds. Ideally. Alright, so this challenge you have to do ascending flourishes. So we need to do a flourish 1, a flourish 2, and a flourish 3. We got the good RNG. And this is our second person. And then the last person. Let's see who it's going to be. It's going to be one of these 2. Which one? We're going to let her turn. Cool. All right, we're coming up on time in like 10 seconds. All right, here we go. And time.
Very nice.
Cool. What was the final time?
Time on stream was 1942.
Oh, nice. Cool. That's good. Sub 20. That was kind of my goal to hit. So, nice. Excellent.
Always nice to hit the goals that you set.
Yeah, excellent. Well,
so is there
go ahead.
anything that you want to go ahead and like show off, or not show off, but like social media, Twitch, anything like that?
Oh, well, sure. You can definitely follow me on Twitch. Just Twitch, Kefka14. I speedrun mostly 64 games in this game as well. And you can also follow me on YouTube under the same name, Kefka14. And also, I wanted to say thanks for having me. It's been about 6 years since I've been in a speedrun marathon, and this is my first one back. So it's very appreciated to be here, and I just want to say thanks for doing a really good job and making this smooth and easy.
Thank you very much for being here. We really, really appreciate it. So let's hear it for Kefka14 and his really neat run of Sneak King. Coming up next is going to be a game that I definitely know what it is going to be. Sorry. Living Looney Bin playing Dead Space 3 Any Percent. It's going to be a really neat thing to see. After that is going to be Kidnapped Any Percent, also by Living Looney Bin. And then the final run of the night, which is going to be J Heart's Baldi's Basics Plus Hide and Seek Random Seed. Thank you all for being here. We really appreciate it. Just remember, we are here raising money for charity. So if you'd like to go ahead and hit !donate, you can donate directly to the Heartland Animal Shelter. If you'd like to donate supplies and not just money, you can also do !wish list, and they would be highly appreciative of your donations. So if you'd like to just hang out for a little bit, we are going to be coming back. We just need to get some setup done, but thank you all for being here, and thank you again, Kefka, for having us be your first marathon back.
Cool, and again, thanks for having me. Have good luck to the rest of the runners.
Thank you.